My friend twitched her head and said, "Sorry, it's my Tourette's," right after calling my husband an offensive slur. My friend Kelsey announced she had Tourette's syndrome about 6 months ago. She said she'd been diagnosed after years of struggling with sudden outbursts and that she was finally ready to be open about it. Our whole friend group rallied around her. We read articles about Tourette's so we could be supportive. We told her we'd never judge her for anything she couldn't control. We promised to have her back if strangers ever gave her trouble in public. We were good friends, or at least we thought we were being good friends to someone who was lying to our faces. The first time I noticed something strange was at brunch 3 weeks after her announcement. Kelsey was telling a story about her coworker when she suddenly blurted out that her coworker was a fat cow. She immediately covered her mouth and apologized and said it was her Tourette's. Everyone at the table nodded sympathetically. Her coworker wasn't even there, so it didn't seem like a big deal. But I noticed that Kelsey had been complaining about the same coworker for months before her diagnosis. She'd called her lazy and annoying and incompetent in private conversations. Now, suddenly, she was saying worse things, but blaming it on a medical condition. I pushed the thought away because I didn't want to be the kind of person who doubted someone's disability. The second time was at my birthday dinner. My husband Terrell came to pick me up at the end of the night and Kelsey met him for the first time. She shook his hand and then her head twitched and she called him a racial slur. The whole table went silent. Terrell's face went hard. Kelsey immediately apologized and explained about her Tourette's and said she was so embarrassed and that she had no control over what came out of her mouth. My other friends jumped in to explain that Kelsey had a condition and that she didn't mean it. Terrell looked at me and I could see he didn't believe her for a second. On the drive home, he asked me if I'd ever heard Kelsey say anything like that before her diagnosis. I thought about it and realized I hadn't. He said that was convenient. I told him I didn't want to accuse my friend of faking a disability. He said he wasn't accusing anyone of anything, but that he also wasn't going to sit at a table with someone who called him slurs, regardless of the excuse. I understood. Over the next few months, Kelsey's outbursts got worse and more targeted. She called our friend Diana stupid during Diana's promotion celebration. She told our friend Becca that her boyfriend was ugly during Becca's anniversary dinner. She announced that our friend Mira's cooking tasted like garbage at a potluck Mira had spent all day preparing for. Every single time she'd twitch and apologize and blame her Tourette's. Every single time our friends would comfort her and tell her it wasn't her fault. And every single time the insult happened to be something she'd expressed privately before. I started keeping track in my head. Kelsey had told me months ago that she thought Diana got promoted because of her looks, not her skills. She'd mentioned that Becca's boyfriend wasn't attractive enough for Becca. She'd complained that Mira always overcooked her food. Now all those opinions were coming out as Tourette's tics. I researched Tourette's syndrome. I learned that coprolalia, which is the involuntary swearing that people associate with Tourette's, actually only affects about 10% of people with the condition. I learned that tics were usually repetitive and consistent, not perfectly crafted insults tailored to specific situations. I learned that tics happened randomly, not conveniently, during moments when Kelsey wanted to say something mean to someone. I also noticed that Kelsey's tics only happened in English. When we went to a Japanese restaurant and the server didn't speak much English, Kelsey's Tourette's was mysteriously quiet. When we met my husband's grandmother, who only spoke Spanish, Kelsey didn't have a single outburst. Her condition apparently only activated when everyone around her could understand exactly what she was saying. I decided to test my theory. I invited Kelsey to lunch, just the two of us. I told her I wanted her honest opinion about something. I said I was thinking about getting a nose job because I'd always hated my nose. I didn't actually hate my nose, but I wanted to see what she'd do. Kelsey looked at me with sympathy and said she thought I was beautiful and didn't need to change anything. No tic, no outburst, no insult about my appearance. I said I was also thinking about quitting my job to become an artist even though I couldn't draw. Again, she was supportive and encouraging. No Tourette's. I spent the whole lunch giving her opportunities to insult me and she didn't take any of them. Her condition apparently didn't apply when we were alone and there was no audience to perform for. I went home and told Terrell what happened. He said he'd known from the beginning, but that he hadn't wanted to push the issue because she was my friend. I said she wasn't my friend anymore. I said someone who used a fake disability to hurt people and avoid consequences wasn't someone I wanted in my life. The next week, our friend group had a gathering at Diana's apartment. Full story on channel. Link below.